Hey, welcome to Beyond Organic Wine. I'm Adam Huss. Thanks so much for listening. I went foraging for mushrooms this morning. I love being out in the woods as the sun is just coming up. There's a grouse that lives in the hollow that I seem to spook every morning, and he in turn spooks me when he explodes from some unexpected shrubbery. Keeps my heart on its toes, I guess. The deer are still loitering around the edges that time of day, and they sort of scamper off into the recesses of the hollow as I pass through. You learn a little bit about deer in this episode. It turns out that they prefer some varieties of grapes more than others. I'm now wondering if we could invite them to be part of the vineyard design process and save everyone a bunch of time. Maybe put out a buffet of varieties of grapes, maybe 5 of each variety, dozens of varieties, and just see what the deer destroy. And then build the vineyard around the ones that they don't touch, and plant their favorites around the edges or somewhere a bit away from the vineyard as a gift garden of sorts to thank them for their design services. And here's a hot tip. I tasted a wine made from the grape Palmer, which was a chance seedling and is being propagated by Stephen Castles. The wine was quite nice, and apparently the birds and other critters aren't that interested in the grapes, at least not as much as they are interested in some other varieties. Not extensively tested, but Palmer may be a grape to consider if you hate bird netting. It's a hybrid grape, but I'm not sure of its other qualities in terms of fungal resistance, but it's growing successfully in the Hudson Valley at the moment, and it seems to be doing well in a nursery of cuttings that were just stuck in the ground here in the Finger Lakes region. In fact, it seems to be doing the best of all of the varieties of cuttings. So maybe we can thank the birds for tipping us off on this one. You know, thanking birds, animals, and plants is a bit strange for me still, so I'm consciously making an effort to do it. The ghost pipes are popping up throughout the forest, and it's also chanterelle season. And when foraging, I use the 4 rules I learned from the Haudenosaunee, which are to first, never take all of something, and really never take more than a third. So if there's 1 or 2 mushrooms, I don't take any. If there are 3, I take 1 mushroom. The idea here is to harvest in a way that leaves some for others, but also to harvest in a way that allows the plants or other things to recover quickly. The second rule is to thank the plant or mushroom or whatever it is that you're harvesting. And the third rule is to only take what you need. And the fourth rule is to only take what is given. I've also learned from the Haudenosaunee to offer something when harvesting. Tobacco is traditional, but you can offer a song or a prayer or something else that comes from your heart and has meaning to you. I was thinking a lot about this as I took my walk this morning. I brought a pouch of tobacco with me that I got for this purpose of making an offering, but still, in my excitement at discovering a patch of chanterelles, I would forget and just start picking a few. And then I felt myself resisting when I remembered that I was supposed to be making a little offering and saying thanks. I was resisting the effort involved in getting out the pouch, offering a pinch of tobacco, and saying thank you. It's foreign to me to do these actions, and they take time and effort, even if it's just a little. But then I started to think about the way that I think that makes me resist these small gestures. Sure, similar to hugging vines, these aren't socially accepted actions in the Western culture that I grew from. But I think the reason for that, the implicit belief that expresses as the cultural absence of offerings and expressions of gratitude to plants, animals, and birds, etc., is human entitlement. I began to think about how entitled I've acted for most of my life when relating to non-human lives. I act as if they exist solely for my use and benefit or pleasure. And now I can't stop thinking about it and seeing my sense of human entitlement everywhere I look in my life. And I can see how this starts to spill over into my relationships with other humans as well. How could it not? So I'm beginning to see the profound importance of making an offering and saying thank you every time I stop under the mulberry trees to eat some berries, or every time I pick dandelion greens or gather flowers, or every time I pick grapes or apples. It changes the way I think about life in general. It's something to be respected and honored, not taken for granted, not treating as if it revolves around my desires. yes, it costs us something to express gratitude, time, thought, energy, and it should. We begin to value what we pay for. And this is all a really long way of just saying thank you to you for listening and supporting this podcast. This episode is the last of the Quebec series, and it's such a great one to end with because it makes me miss Quebec and want to go back for a visit as soon as possible. This one is special for several reasons. First, I got to interview a family instead of an individual, or at least part of a family, who farms and makes wine as Vignoble Pigeon Hill. Kevin, Matthew, and Trisha Shufelt treated Maxime and me to a beautiful tour, tasting, and conversation, and we finally got to see some sheep in action in the vineyard. And we got to hear a lot about how they make sheep work at Pigeon Hill, from the size of the flock to why sheep are better for eating than deer, and to the frequency of movement, breeds, parasites, using winter hay feed to compost and give to the vines. We also talk about frost seeding of cover crops, which is a cool idea I hadn't heard of. We meet some pigs who are living at the edge of the vineyard forest edge. And Kevin tells a funny story about Elmer Swenson and why you have to be careful when planting Lacrosse and St. Pepin. We discuss a lot about the differences in the growth and resistance of the hybrid varieties and how they've learned there, how the Schufelts have learned to pay attention, get to know their vines, and prune, train, trellis, and canopy manage them somewhat individualistically according to the needs and proclivities of the individual vines. They aren't farming by recipe, but they're learning their vines, paying attention, seeing how individual differences benefit the whole and provide contingencies to farming. It's just a really cool perspective that I hope comes out, and I hope you see throughout everything that they say and their approach. We get some real talk about the challenges of organic farming in Quebec and how sometimes it's like being an exhausted marathoner, staggering over the finish line at harvest. And I found it really exciting that Trish got into wine because of learning about regenerative farming. Her excitement, and all of theirs really, for the health of their soil and plants and animals and fostering biodiversity was incredibly encouraging. It gave me hope, honestly, and I wish I could show you their farm so you could see how it reflects their enthusiasm and care. The other thing that I wish I could show you, rather than tell you about, is the side-by-side comparison of their vinifera rows and their hybrid rows. The hybrids can grow on a high-wire cordon, and so the sheep can easily graze among the vines all year, and the understory plants grow long and lush, pulling down CO2 and enriching the soil, health, and biodiversity in multiple ways. The vinifera, on the other hand, must be grown low to the ground, and because of this, it must be mowed in the alleys and tilled in the rows. Tending to the hybrids is pleasant and ergonomic. You stand upright and you work directly in front of you, while tending to the vinifera requires constant stooping or kneeling, and Kevin talks about praying to Pinot. And the vinifera requires significantly more sprays, 5 to 10 times as much as the hybrids. And they must be covered with geotextiles in the winter, another expense. But Pigeon Hill feels compelled to grow some vinifera because the market, our dominant wine culture, which I call vinifera culture, still demands it. And the side-by-side comparisons are so stark, it's hard not to see the absurdity of our prejudices that make this kind of viticulture necessary. I haven't even mentioned their Marquette yet. It's one of their favorites. Kevin kind of fell in love with wine because of Marquette, and now they're making what I would argue are some of the best Marquettes in the world. And they're almost 0-0. Tasting one of Matt's inspirations in the cellar gave me confidence there will be more world-class wines for years to come from Pigeon Hill. And my only huge regret is that the quality of this recording is so bad. I'm really sorry. It was a windy day, and the wind was really strong, which is probably why it's such a great vineyard site. Terrible site for outdoor recording, though. Also, there were so many of us that it was really hard to get close to everybody, and since I was the one holding the recorder, my voice is the loudest. I've done the best that I can to reduce the wind noise in the editing, but it seems to come in the strongest when you most want to hear what someone is saying quietly, of course. The content is so great I had to share it, and it definitely makes up for the wind noise, but my sincere apologies. Maybe it's more endurable when you realize that the wind has a really important message to share that I kept ignoring and we all just kept talking over. But it kept trying to tell us. The answer is blowing in the wind. Have you heard it? And the recording ends when we go into the winery, but I recorded some more great content inside that I'll put on our Patreon. What you can listen to if you subscribe, and the link to our Patreon is always in the show notes. Now, I just want to say a huge thank you to the Shufelts of Pigeon Hill. We had such a good time there, and it was such a pleasure meeting them all, meeting you all. And a big thank you to all of the other incredible wine producers that I got to meet and spend time with while in Quebec. I talk a little in this episode about why I think Quebec is so far ahead of most of the rest of the wine world. There are, of course, many factors that come into play, but the number of producers making incredible, world-class wine with hybrid grapes using 0-0 or close to it winemaking and with the best beyond organic farming you'll find anywhere is amazing. It's truly an exceptional wine region and somewhere other regions should be looking to for inspiration and examples of how to move forward in a post-vinifera wine world. You know, besides Vermont, Vermont is doing a pretty amazing job already setting the standard for the rest of us, including Quebec. But I digress. Thank you to all of you for the kind of farming and wine culture you are advancing. And finally, a big thank you to Maxime, the mostly silent hero of this series, my generous host, my brilliant companion, and enthusiastic guide with a beautiful family. Merci énormément. And now I give you the Shufelts of Pigeon Hill. Enjoy.
Awesome. I was just telling him about your rugby story and going to, not being allowed to drink after practices in France. They said don't drink, and then after the games, yeah. So Maxime was saying, I heard that maybe they drink a little bit of wine after the games.
Yeah. A lot of beer too, though.
A lot of beer, yeah.
So are you guys all involved in the wine?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a family affair.
Family.
You guys didn't reject the parental influence? You accepted it?
I totally rejected it.
Okay.
Every day.
Every day.
I was on my way to vet school until I discovered regenerative agriculture, actually.
Really?
And then I was like, oh, plants are fun, actually. And then,
Amazing. Wow, that got you interested. That's kind of...
Yeah, and then I kind of gradually came back.
That's kind of a whole other side of regenerative agriculture that I haven't heard as a benefit, but I like that.
What's that? Yeah,
Well, like get somebody who wasn't at all involved.
I don't want anything to do with plants. I want to work with animals. I want to have work with things that have a soul, and then I kind of
cutting close to home, talking about plants not having souls.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then I kind of got more into agriculture.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, like vines are kind of cool. Wine's kind of cool.
Yeah. And you too? You're still deciding?
I've always worked here.
Okay, that's what I mean. You didn't so it's familiar, it's comfortable.
Yeah, and then I really got into wine like when I was 20.
Okay.
My girlfriend and I would buy a bunch of bottles, do blind tastings, and I really got into wine, and that's what I got even more interested in.
Which I was roommates with his girlfriend at the time. So I would heard we wanted there. We kind of got interested at the same time.
Nice.
So I got interested into wine before I got interested into growing grapes and stuff.
I did. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. It leads you down the path, though, right? Like, I mean, for me, it was the lure that hooked me and reeled me in.
I mean, working outside and on your own time and everything is it's not too bad either.
Yeah, that's nice too, right?
Yeah.
What are you guys up for?
I want to see the sheep for sure. If we can get relatively close, so I can get a picture of them. That'd be awesome. It's like we've been talking about sheep for a couple days and haven't seen any.
Okay.
And I finally saw yours. That's why I was like, we made a beeline for the sheep. This looks beautiful, by the way. This is lush. Are you guys going to come through and do any under vine management or row management of these cover crops? We're like waist deep here. Or?
This is St. Pepin.
Okay.
And St. Pepin is doesn't pollinate itself.
Right.
So that's one of the things we found by leaving the clover will all come into flower, and all the wildflowers, then it brings in pollinators.
Oh.
So then we have because we need pollinators for the St. Pepin. Without pollinators,
the wind doesn't do it?
No.
Really?
No. Oh. So it does a lot in French, coulage. So it doesn't, when it flowers, it just drips. Yeah, a lot of people do this just because you create beneficial habitat for the balance, for increasing biodiversity and getting a lot of... Right. But this is that's such a practical good reason as well too. I've never. You realize, this is it's not a perfect flower, so you need pollinators to help.
Yeah. We're
That's
actually
amazing.
not sure, but we kind of say it
can't hurt.
It can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
It can only be beneficial.
Yeah, we're not sure if it's
We've always had a good crop off our St. Pepin where others have not, so we think
that's maybe the secret. I know because I'm planting St. Pepin as well, and so. I don't know if I'm planting it next to varieties that flower at the same time, because I just didn't look into it, and it's kind of an all experiment because my site might be different anyway, the way it's growing. But this gives me hope that I'll be able to, whether or not the nearby varieties flower at the same time, hopefully the pollinators will do the work for me by attracting them in.
Are you doing high cordon as well?
Yeah, I'm actually doing in trees, so in different ways, but it will all be at minimum head height, head height for us, I guess, for 6 feet,
So what do you mean by trees?
Well, there are these things that you grow that they have bark and
No, but you're gonna.
so I'm gonna do it
have
multiple
them grow
different
on-
ways. Yeah,
Okay.
so there's
I've heard of it.
so married vine, Vite maritata in Italian. I mean, look, it's the way the vines evolved. First of all, so something in their genetics probably remembers that association, and then it's the way we found them, and it's the first way that we grew them because that's the way we found them as well when we started trying to, domesticate them to some extent, or make them, productive for our purposes. We did it in trees because we didn't have wires and posts, metal posts and stuff. So I think there's probably some deep connection, especially in the soil, but also in the way their hormonal growth and the way that they respond to being with a tree and that thing. So there's a lot of old styles that go pre-Roman era styles of doing things where there's they'll do pollarded trees and then festoon between, so that the tree becomes a thicker and thicker trunk with an afro of growth that gets maybe hedged every couple of years to use as fodder for sheep or something. And then you just drape the vines between the pollarded trees. And then there's another one I'm using with willows where you use a long willow thing and bend it over and connect it to the next willow and just keep going down. So it's literally like a living trellis line. And the vines grow on that. And then just fully expressed trees. So apple, pear, persimmon and honey locust. I'm going to be just growing the vines and letting them do their thing and just pruning and managing their growth so they don't strangle each other out or shade each other out,
So how do you plant? Do you plant the tree a few years before? How
you should. You should.
Do you have an established orchard?
You should. I'm doing it all wrong. So, so it'll just take some time. So I'm starting a willow coppice grove at the same time I'm starting vine cuttings. I have planted some trees. So there are some trees that I planted already without vines. And then I'll come back through and plant the vines. But I'm trying a little bit of everything because I'm 51 and I feel like I got to get started one way or another. To do it perfectly might be the enemy of actually getting it done at all. So
That's it. You just bite the bullet and go, right? And
I would have liked to have spent several years just developing the soil health, you know what I mean? Because I'm buying a farm, I moved into a farm that wasn't managed for anything that I care about, in the way that I would manage it now for health. So really it could use a lot of stuff, it's kind of low organic matter for that region. It's plenty for vines, but it's kind of low organic matter for the farmlands of those regions. It could use different mineral increases. So it would be great to have it grazed for a while. It'd be great to burn it, it'd be great to do different things to just enhance the health. But I'm going to do that as I go. And hopefully maybe it'll start slow and come into balance and start to be able to see it build and increase. And the vines will help too. So it's sort of they're going to be pulling carbon down. They're going to be helping with that organic matter. So even though they would not struggle as much if I had done all that first for them, they're also helping manage the land. So I'm seeing them as one of the partners in making it a better place. So. And the other idea about it is like similar to this, like you see the energy changes, like when you go to this high cordon thing, you can just move in any direction. It becomes more like a forest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like an immersive experience.
That's what, like only one single wire, like you can go.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't need to like, oh, if you see something over there, you can
right.
walk.
You're trapped in that row,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so it's more freedom.
Yeah.
And for the sheep, it's amazing to do the one single wire, because they move too.
And you guys are doing cane, it looks like, at least. Mixture, okay.
So sometimes cane, sometimes spur.
Okay.
Pretty flexible on.
And maybe go back and forth if you start seeing a problem on a cordon, you just restart it.
Restart it, So
nice.
We're no rule, because we do all the pruning ourselves. We don't hire anybody to do pruning. So everybody that prunes it really understands the vines and understands
so important.
what we're going for, So.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I noticed there's no extra wire that are usually, to bring so you're not going to bring it down, like gravity's going to do its thing and that's it.
Yeah. And then like all the grapes will be here and then all the foliage comes down.
Usually in August we'll go and kind of just comb everything down.
Just with your hand?
Yeah. Because sometimes they'll want to grow vertically, So we just horizontally and then we'll bring them down vertically, like just like a bad kid come here.
Yeah.
We just
like combing your hair to get rid of the cowlick.
So then when we harvest, like all the grapes will be right out there.
Do you let the sheep sort of nip off the bottoms when it's grown down, so they hedge it for you?
Well, they'll come in and we'll pull the sheep out once they get to about here.
Oh, okay, because they might damage it too. They'll yank on it.
Yeah, they love vines.
They love vines.
They can, like, if it's in their reach, easy access.
You ever see one stand on the other's back to get up to their...
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm just going to stand on your back so I can get here.
Don't move. So, yeah, I know exactly.
That's great. So how long have you guys been here? Wait, can you all introduce yourselves again, because I don't think I got your names.
Trish.
Matthew. And Kevin.
Shufelt.
Yeah.
And what's the name of this place?
It's a Pigeon Hill Winery.
Why is it named that?
The little town is named Pigeon Hill.
Okay.
So it's just my wife, Manon, who would have loved to be here, and Thomas too, my son. But Thomas broke his hand playing rugby. So on the weekend, so he's at the hospital right now getting surgery. So he's like, I want to be there.
Yeah, this is a beautiful shot. Look at them. This is the magic right here. Wow. It's gorgeous. So, how long have you guys been doing this?
We planted the vines in 2008.
Have you always been doing it this way?
Yep. Yeah, we actually, my wife and I kind of started reading about grapes and hybrids, and we went down near New Haven, Middlebury, Vermont, to Chris Granstrom's Lincoln Peak.
Okay.
And he was growing Marquette like this.
Okay.
And at the time, everybody was VSP.
Right.
Because we're very...
influenced by Europe.
Yeah. Okay.
To put it nicely.
To put it nicely. So we were like, and everybody was tight here, like tight spacing.
Right.
Burgundy style, tight spacing. The vines will compete amongst themselves, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so we went down there to see Chris Granstrom, and he was growing Marquette on these 5.5 foot trellis high, and we were like, holy cow.
Yeah.
This is the way to grow grapevines.
Right.
And because, especially growing grapevines organically, it was high, the humidity stays low, and you get a nice breeze through the vines and aeration.
Yeah.
So half the battle with the fungus management is because they grow too tight and everything gets wound up, So when you grow them up high, the air circulates, you get a beautiful air circulation.
Yeah.
And then we tasted some of Chris's wines. We're like, oh, if we could grow Marquette like that, and it's like, okay, let's do it.
Nice.
And at the time I was playing rugby with a fellow named Mike Marler, who was Les Pervenches here in Farnham.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about, organic matter and the kind of soil to grow good grapes. And I was like, think I know the place, because we had the farm here. We grew hay.
Okay.
And I was originally a dairy farmer.
Uh-huh.
And so we were like, oh, well, let's try to plant some vines, and things just took off. And yeah, and like you said, like we had some old vines growing in the forest, and they were this big.
Right.
I was like, I was raking hay one day, and I was like, that's a sign.
Yeah.
I tasted the grapes; it was good. I was like, okay, grapes should be planted here. Because in farming, you always try to match the crop with the land.
Well, not in vinifera farming. Sorry. I couldn't resist. What you're doing is what I really love. So.
We do have some vinifera. We do have some, and you'll see later on. But we do have some vinifera because we sell to a lot of restaurants, and it is, the hybrids are really starting to take off, but it's been a very, very slow process.
Yeah, I don't hate vinifera.
No,
it's more the culture that we've had around them. You know, it's like they're just one grape. There's lots of others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's from France. It all comes from France.
Right.
When De Gaulle said not allowed, he banned all hybrids.
Right.
Because they were just overproducing.
Right.
So he said hybrids banned. Everybody's going rootstocks.
Right.
And so that stuck with people.
Yeah.
Like hybrids bad. Hybrids are not bad. They're different.
Yeah.
They're just different. And we're lucky in Quebec now. We're starting to have a clientele that's really accepting of our grapes, and I think they're maturing as a wine population where they're like, this is what we produce, this is what we can produce in an ecological way, and they're starting to really appreciate it. Like the restaurants and the sommeliers are starting to and educate their clients on what
wine industry in general, or the wine clientele in general, is like, well, you've probably seen it, way more adventurous in their wine taste,
under a certain age, right? Like your generation, you guys. It's like more like, what's in the glass, do I like it? I don't like the class associations,
willing to like go away from the typical Pinot Noir, Merlot, kind of consumption.
Yeah, the same. I mean, I say that about my farm too, which is like I looked around and already saw a bunch of vines growing in trees. So like I'm just doing what's already happening there. Yeah, it's like, hey, don't reinvent what's already seems to be working.
Yeah.
Just try to help it.
Yeah. And we like the sheep. We looked around for a long time for different breeds of sheep, and
these
kind of fell in love with the Dorpers.
Oh yeah.
The Dorper sheep, because they're low. They're very skittish, which is good for coyotes, like predation.
Yeah.
One coyote will not bring down a Dorper sheep. They run. They run. And I was actually at a wine tasting event in Montreal, and I ran into a winemaker from South Africa where they grow Dorpers, and he was like, they grow Dorpers in South Africa because of the wild dogs.
Oh yeah.
And the Dorpers the wild dogs won't attack the Dorpers. They'll kill off all the Ramanoffs and all the other breeds, but the Dorpers are so run that they won't.
They don't. It's too hard of a meal.
Yeah, it's too hard of a meal.
Now, does this guy help out?
He's learning. He doesn't chase him anymore, and he kind of sits there. But,
he was kind of the opposite of a help for a while.
Yeah. He wasn't sure he's still not sure of his purpose. He's a perfect hybrid dog. He's part poodle, part Great Dane, and he doesn't know what the heck he's supposed to do.
Yeah, we're talking about you.
So, but now we're the brown ones you see are we've got another breed coming in for kind of diversify into. They're called Catadin.
They're from.
We say Katahdin, but Catadin. Okay,
they're from Maine, I think. A professor at the University of Maine developed
the Dorper. I think I was working with Dorper Katahdin mixes, where I was at a sheep vine farm. Yeah, where I was working last year.
Because they're supposed to be fairly resistant to parasites, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah. Yep. So you don't have any guard animals for them?
Nope.
Wow.
No.
So far so good?
I've never lost one to a coyote.
Whoa.
No. We lost one to the worst predation we had was a bald eagle.
Oh.
We had 2 white lambs, killed them both.
Wow.
But only the white ones. I think it mistake them for a rabbit. Because it killed them, left them there, and we were like, well,
why'd you kill them?
It had the talon marks, and we had a nesting pair of bald eagles. So, I don't know.
Maybe they were teaching the juveniles to hunt.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Wild. So, did you always have the sheep as part of this when you started thinking about doing this?
No.
Like 10 years ago?
10 years, yeah.
Okay.
My wife, Manon, really wanted sheep. She absolutely thought that was the best thing ever.
Okay.
And I agreed, eventually we went along with it, and we just love them, Well, we don't love them all the time.
When don't you love them? When don't you love them?
Very hard to fence.
Fencing is a situation, yeah.
Like, you need page wire. At first we started with just 5 electric strands.
They would go through it.
Right through it. Not even, they wouldn't
So
even.
yeah, I was fencing with 2 wires, but they were, I don't know, maybe, they would get out sometimes. So, but yeah. So,
Like last year,
do you think it's breed related?
Last year they got out.
Their difficulty?
And ate all our young vines in one night.
Oh!
Yeah, the first, there's like 3-4 leaves on them.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Like
did the vines come back?
Yeah, they came back.
That's why they're still small over there?
No, they're
a
up there,
different one. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you move the sheep around? Like, how do you manage them in terms of...
Generally, we move them every day.
Yeah, every day?
Yeah.
Wow. How many are there? About
50.
50. And this is, how big is their pen for the day?
This is a bigger one.
Okay. But generally...
Usually, it's
150 by 150. Yeah.
Okay.
We move them like once to twice a day.
Okay.
We got two of those fences.
Oh.
Just move them. They follow, so we take we give them like a quarter bucket of grain every day.
Okay.
They'll follow you anywhere.
They know
Right.
the routine.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Every day at 7 o'clock, they wait at the gate there. Open the gate. You walk them in their fence.
they know they have to go through the fence, and that's where they are for the day.
Yeah.
And then
How much land do you use then total for them throughout the year?
Everything.
How much is everything?
Anywhere there's grass, like sometimes we put them in the woods. We put them around the machinery. They clear everything out.
How-
12 acres, say?
That's it?
Yeah.
Just 12 acres.
Change them every day,
So, yeah.
so they don't overgrade.
Right.
the
So you
grass
can come
comes
back
like every 2-3 weeks. You can put them back in.
every 2-3 weeks, yeah. Huh.
it's very like high density as well. So
Right.
finish in one day that little pasture. They'll eat it, and then they won't touch it for another. They won't be there for another 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks.
Nice, okay. And no parasite issues, or it's not too bad?
If they stay too long in one place,
Right,
then
that's where you get the issues.
Yeah,
But
so,
like, I always heard you needed like at least 30 days before you came back to a place to avoid parasite issues. But,
In the spring, maybe like in July when it rains
July,
less.
oh, okay.
But
It's
in
drier, but
spring, you
it's
can,
washing stuff away, and you're getting a lot of growth too. So
Yeah.
they're eating up higher. Okay.
Yeah, it's when they graze it too low that they really like. That's when they're up high. It seems like that's a big. Plus, like when we first got them, we lost like a third of the sheep to parasites.
Wow.
Like
And
they
so-
were just dying because they were in confinement. So they were fed a diet of corn and corn silage
And then
when we got them.
were they also given antibiotics? And
Must
stuff
be
like-
all
yeah.
this. So they were very fragile when we got them, and that was what 10 years ago. So we lost a lot, and last year we didn't lose any, and this year we haven't lost any so far.
We didn't really do
Just-
a good job of changing them every day.
Okay.
And
So-
in their pasture, they eat, which is apparently really good for worms. They eat stinging nettle.
Oh, okay. So it's in the
And then
pasture.
we feed
Great.
them, like sumac leaves too, which apparently it's a natural dewormer.
Okay. I've heard chicory too can help. I don't know if you guys have that up here. Do you guys have chicory?
Yeah,
Well, you might have a different name for it. It's like the one that's got the blue flower.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
yeah,
have
we
that.
have some.
Yeah.
Tall, usually tall too. I hear it's good for parasites.
Like that stuff. Is that what you're talking about? Over there.
I'm looking.
Like, it might not be that.
No, I don't see it over there. Well, in my field of vision. But if we see it, I'll let you know. It's great. So you got stinging nettle growing. Did you plant any of the stuff? Or?
No.
Wow.
It's all natural.
This clover looks pretty.
This was actually Trisha did frost seeding of this clover.
Okay. What does that mean? What's frost seeding?
Frost seeding is you just go on with a cyclone seeder during like maple syrup season.
Okay.
When so it's freezing at night and thawing. So it freezes, and then you just go on with a cyclone seeder. You don't have to work the soil or anything, and the seed just goes into the soil with the freeze and thaw.
Wow.
So it works fantastic. Everybody was like, "Oh no, it's not gonna." And then we said, "Oh, look at all the clover we have. This is red clover, and it's frost seeded."
Oh, so if you're not busy enough in maple sugar season,
yeah,
get out and do some frost.
But it doesn't take long. What did it take,
Right.
Trish? How long did it take?
So, look how you have stuff growing up down there. What is that? These guys.
Oh, that's to be suckers. That's suckers.
Oh, okay.
Because they're all in their own roots.
Yeah.
So that's just the suckers that haven't been suckered yet. The sheep will come in, and when we move them over here, that's one of the first things they'll eat.
Yeah. So you should leave it for them, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Do you ever try to? Well, I see multiple trunks. Do you have to restart trunks?
Yep. Multiple trunks is the best thing.
Yeah.
So this is what a perfect example. We try to have 2 trunks and sometimes 3.
Okay.
Crown gall.
Crown gall is a big one. Huh?
Oh yeah, Marquette is
oh boy,
bad for crown gall.
Good to know.
So that's why if you have 2 trunks, one might get crown gall and the other one won't. So then you haven't lost your production. You can bring a cane.
Okay.
And,
Right.
So it's like especially the last few winters haven't been very severe.
So while you grow up the second trunk, you just lay down a cane from the first trunk.
Just lay down a cane, and you haven't lost any production.
Beautiful.
And then you bring up another trunk, so you go back to 2 trunks.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
like Marquette, it buds early, so the sap starts flowing pretty early.
Yeah.
And if you get a frost, sometimes it kind of explodes the bottom.
I have a picture to show you guys. Let's see. This is my Marquette taken on Sunday. It's already going through veraison.
Oh, Jesus. Not the same heat units, eh?
Los Angeles, slightly different, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Do you get 2 yields a year or something?
I mean, this is our first crop on Marquette. I've been growing vinifera for the most part, and I've planted hybrids. I just started 3 years ago planting hybrids. And so this is it's all new for me, too. I'm going to see. I planted like 10 different varieties, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an example of like the triple. We got the triple, you know.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice.
So,
So another thing that really impresses me, there was a good example back there. Here's a good example. So when you lay down a cane, you can lay down a pretty flat, long cane, and you're not suffering from apical dominance. At least not too bad. It looks like.
No.
So is that variety dependent, or is it you guys just never had an issue?
We never had an issue. So yeah, this would have died. You see.
Yeah.
So then you just laid another cane through there. And
Yeah, it's a perfect example. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, maybe, I don't know, do you think this would have pushed if this was shorter, or do you think that it has just like random chance that one didn't push? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, the front end, we don't really notice it. With the St. Pepin, if you see like a long cane though.
It might have apical. It's a little shorter buds if they don't push even.
St. Pepin seems to grow more from the.
So it might be variety dependent then. Yeah. Okay.
But a few holes in the trellis is not the end of the world for us, you know.
Yeah,
because,
more airflow.
Yeah, more airflow. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
good point.
It tends to, you know, we have lots of land and we're not missing. We don't need to maximize every single foot of trellis. Like this is an okay thing here, you know.
Yeah, because it's gonna get bushy by the end of the season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like.
This is a beautiful day, guys.
Yeah. Compared to what they were calling, like.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, it's gonna rain.
Wow. Oh, look at this. All right.
Don't look at that. Pinot.
Oh, this is?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So what are you doing with the Pinot?
Well, make all the some of yous happy.
So you're keeping it really low.
Yeah, we have to.
Because you have to lay it down.
Yeah, we have to lay it down, and then we have to cover it. So basically, we collapse everything gets collapsed.
Right.
And then we put geotextiles covered with dirt.
And this holds up the geotextile?
This one does.
That one does. Oh, because it'll be down.
Those ones down
Got it.
at the end. Vineyard
Nice.
like a foot.
How does it do here?
That's good.
Does it take a lot of work to keep the mildew pressure off? Yeah. And you
So
guys-
you can't miss a spray.
Yeah.
Like, with the hybrids, you can go camping, you know what I mean?
Right.
With vinifera, you have to be on the job.
Yeah.
Especially when it's, mildew season.
Yeah.
Because it can, 2 years ago, we lost basically our whole crop
Okay.
to mildew. So, yeah, it's definitely a different beast. Yeah.
And do you guys, I'm jumping all around with these questions as they just pop into my head, so forgive me, but with the sheep, are you guys, is that a second crop? Do you have like meat sales or anything like that you guys do?
Totally.
Nice.
Yeah, we do meat sales, and we're actually in the process of starting up a little restaurant, a little bistro.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're going to have a little buvette, where we can sell wine. We also want to sell grass-fed sheep.
Yep.
And we started a little hog operation too. So
Beautiful,
we're going to have forested pigs. So we're going to have forest-fed hogs, grass-fed sheep, and natural wine. So
Beautiful. That's
Maybe
sounds.
beef eventually.
Yeah.
maybe beef. We're looking into beef now too.
Do you have enough land for
Yeah.
beef? Nice.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So yeah, I would you find it's a nice a balance,
Yeah.
You can.
You're going to come full circle and be a dairy farmer before this
No,
is over.
no! I milk cows. I'm a milk cows for no. That's why I said these guys wanted to grow vinifera, but I spent my whole life like this milking cows.
Yeah, that's so true. You're right though. Like
now
this.
I have come full circle.
Right.
I'm milking Pinot.
Oh, I should have got a picture of that. But yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, the ergonomics of working with vinifera here is you got to be on your knees.
You're on your knees. You're praying. You're praying to Pinot.
I'm going backwards just to block the wind a little bit.
Yeah,
Hopefully it'll help a little with the audio. There's somebody's ball.
We put those on top of the.
Oh,
for
so
the
for the geotextiles.
Yeah.
Got it. Smart.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice. Any other vinifera besides Pinot?
A little bit of Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Nice. And what other of the hybrid varieties? So Marquette, St. Pepin,
Le Crescent.
Le Crescent.
We've got just about all of them. Louis Swenson.
Okay.
Petit Pearl.
Okay.
Frontenac Noir.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of Frontenac Blanc. And we have Itasca, which we
Beautiful.
totally love Itasca.
Really?
Yeah, it's a beast.
Oh, really?
We're going to walk by, we'll walk by Itasca. It's like, it's a beast.
Nice.
You don't plant Itasca at the space like Pinot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because everybody was growing, when we first started, everybody was growing hybrids like this.
Wow.
You see?
Like 1 meter. Yeah.
like like they do in France.
Right.
But if you plant Marquette or Frontenac space like this, you've got you've got a big mess.
You got a jungle.
You got a jungle
of shade and mildew.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect conditions.
Perfect conditions.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, it's really beautiful, guys. I mean, it's lush out there. There's some good growth. I mean, I blame the sheep. What do you guys blame for all that?
The sheep, and we use it. I always joke the most valuable part of the sheep is the compost.
Oh, okay, so what do you do?
Well, we put one shovelful of compost spring and fall.
Okay, so
on each vine.
And this is from what they do in the winter.
Yeah,
so how long are they in? What's the season like here where they're in the?
Depending on winter, depending on how aggressive it gets, but they're outside all year round.
Okay.
So we kind of give them a confined area, but they're outside. They really don't mind the cold.
But you have to start feeding them hay at a certain point.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
We start feeding. Well, depending when there's too much snow.
This year, December.
December.
We were grazing them until December, but we had
And
a
then
lot of snow this year.
When did they get off hay and get out in the field again?
April.
December to April.
Yeah.
That's really. Do you make your own hay, or do you have to get hay?
No, we make our own hay.
Nice.
We get a farmer to come in, and we hire him to do with his equipment. And
Oh,
he
okay.
does our fields for us.
Beautiful.
So
So the
But
vines,
with-
it's really like a full circle.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sheep eat our hay, and it goes back.
Right.
Compost into the vines, and
Right.
then back to the grapes, and then
and then they feed us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, nice fed lamb. Like lamb is just grass-fed lamb is just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's so tasty. You know.
Yeah. That's great.
we always joke because a lot of people hunt here, and there's a lot of deer.
Yeah.
We always joke like our lamb is a lot better than any wild deer because the deer eat all the soybeans and
Oh, that's
corn.
true.
GMOs, yeah.
Yeah, they go into the other farmers' fields, right?
Our
Oh.
sheep literally just only eat grass. Like,
Yeah, and your grass that you
Yeah.
know how it was grown.
Exactly. Exactly.
But there's no fans for deer. How
No.
do you protect the vines?
Well, it's Pinot. Why do you protect it? I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Sorry.
No, we don't. Actually, like there, you will see the occasional little bugger that comes in and snips off, but they haven't been that aggressive. They've got a lot of things to eat, so
Huh.
we don't really have. I mean, when you're trying to plant the vines, it seems like as soon as they grow, but now they don't really like it a whole lot.
It seems like they're varietal specific too. Like we have like St. Pepin and Lacrosse and interplanted over there,
Uh-huh.
and they will not touch the St. Pepin at all.
Oh, but they'll nibble the
nibble
Lacrosse.
Like we have a hard time growing Lacrosse because they like it a lot.
Crazy
But
question.
the
Do you guys,
rest are-
when you guys are like debudding or thinning buds in the spring, do you ever eat the buds? Yeah, like to me, I became like a bud sommelier last year because I was pulling off so many buds. Like, I think this is. I would do like blind tasting of the buds. I was like, give me a bud. I'm going to tell you what kind of vine it came from because they have different flavors once you start eating the bud. It's like that, and they're kind of sweet and tangy, and they're kind of nice. Like it's kind of a nice little like a sweet, tangy, lemony Brussels sprout vibe, if you know what I mean. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm weird, so don't. I'm just letting you know I'm weird. That's all. That story was meant to tell. But yeah, delicious. They're delicious. I understand being picky
Yeah,
about my
well,
buds.
that spiked our curiosity here. We're gonna have to watch for the Matthew now. Who ate all those bugs?
Right. Well, does he get to roam around wherever he wants? So that might help with the deer pressure, just his presence.
I think
Marks his territory.
He marks his territory, and we go for a big walk every morning at the perimeter, and he does his territory justice.
Nice. Wow, that's beautiful. I've probably been in I was probably in a beautiful vineyard this morning, but it was raining. You know. What's you guys epic day today? Wow.
You can see we're far away from being anywhere near where you're at.
So when these guys are young, do you still let the plants grow around them like this?
No, we do a little bit of cleaning up.
Okay.
When they're young, they can't really
Compete as much.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so we give them a hand.
Yeah.
Until they're like 2-3 years old. You know?
Okay.
Otherwise, if the weeds just overtake them.
And it looks like with the Pinot, you have to keep it tilled.
Yeah.
You have to, because they're so low, and then you have to keep it mowed so that also for the same reason.
And
Right?
it just because they're so low, the humidity and the mildew, if we don't keep it really clean underneath the vines, it can get into a disaster fast.
Have you ever brought a sommelier out here and said, like, look, I know you prefer these, but look at the difference. Like, you know what I mean? Like, has that
every time that we get visited, we bring them and we talk about it. And like the guys from last year, we had the guys from La Tanière who just got 2 Michelin stars,
Oh.
and they came to visit us. And we were explaining, like, look, we have to spray this like 1/5 of the time that we have to spray this, you know. And then they taste the wine, they're like, oh.
And also look at the biodiversity.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Look at what it's doing for the ecosystem, you know.
Yeah, you know, and we try, and then it's kind of neat because they bring that back to their clients, you know, and try to explain to them what's going on too, you know.
I think this is a good picture to take just to show that, you know. Yeah. That's
The market is fantastic despite being a rainy season. Like no anthracnose, no nothing.
A little bit of anthracnose here and there.
Depends on where.
Yeah.
And what do you do with that? Just remove it?
Yeah, we pick it off.
Yeah, there's not a spray really that you can do too much.
No.
Just normal spray program,
Yeah,
but
normal
just
spray
remove
program.
it.
The only thing we do for anthracnose is the lime sulfur dormant.
Can you describe anthracnose, what you see when you know you have anthracnose, just for anybody who doesn't know what anthracnose is or how to find it in their vines?
Can you? Trisha's the specialist.
Oh.
Well, it'll probably be like the first thing you see in the spring.
Okay.
You'll see like the leaves will have black dots on them, and they'll be shriveled up.
Okay.
And you'll also see it on the stems. You'll have like it's a very prominent black spot.
Okay.
You can't miss it really.
How do you notice it differently from black rot? Do you guys get black rot up here?
Black rot is later in the season.
Right.
And it'll be mostly on the leaves. You'll have like a black spot, like a brown spot with little black dots in it.
Okay.
Where you'll see those are the spores.
Gotcha. And anthracnose is more just like black on the stems and crinkly leaves with black.
Yeah, and then it'll go on the grapes as well. You'll have big black spots on the grapes on the
for anthracnose.
The nice thing about anthracnose, if there could be a nice thing about it, is that it takes water to move. So it's not like black rot that'll sporulate with the wind. Anthracnose, it drips down.
Got it.
So like usually it'll be on the bottom, like the beginning, but the top will kind of grow through it.
Okay. Oh, that is great.
Yeah, it's
until they fall. So as long as you remove it early enough.
As long as you catch it early enough, and the lime sulfur is the dormant sprays with oil is vegetable oil. Seems like that's pretty effective.
Okay.
So that's what we'd have to do to calm it down.
Look at this.
Because the tendrils they want to wander.
Yeah, the Marquette especially. It seems like
they tend to grow.
Do you push a lot of laterals on Marquette too? Yeah.
But depending on your crop load, like if you leave a heavy crop load, like they're reasonable. It's when they don't have they're not in balance. And
then they start just going.
And then the party.
They do very well on canes. Like
because of that.
You'll see like.
The Marquette looks great on canes.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, that looks, and it does. You're right. It looks balanced. It looks like, and this is early enough. These will get nice and big. And do you have any problem? So that Marquette you saw, the problem I had with it got to about this length, and it was on an overhead trellis system. And we get an afternoon breeze that's like this, and they start breaking off. I mean,
last year we had a big wind, about at this point. Maybe 15-20%. Everything broke off.
Is it just Marquette or
Frontenac?
Frontenac even more? Okay. So good to
But we find like that's why we have to be careful with the compost. Has to be really well composted for nitrogen.
Right.
Like if you have too much nitrogen, like they become more fragile. They just grow too fast.
Right.
So I mean that's why the compost really well composted, so we get phosphorus and potassium and micronutrients, but as little nitrogen as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense
for the growth, and then they do become wind resistant fairly fast here.
Yeah.
Because they're always in the wind. We have a breeze here all the time. So.
Yeah, this is nice for. So we were headed towards Tosca,
we
right?
Yeah.
Come on, baby. I gotta say, guys, this might be getting a suntan here in Quebec.
Cooper, stay here. Stay with us. Stay with us. Good dog.
So this is also St. and Lacrosse.
Okay. Oh, okay. Interplanted. Like row by row or vine by vine? Or how is it? How do you?
You'll see like the greener vines are the crescent, and then
the redder ones are the Pepin.
Yeah.
And that's for pollination, or just because? Or because it was a mistake?
Big mistake.
Not us on the.
We ordered. Everybody was having a hard time growing St. Pepin.
Okay.
So the idea was to put it on 3309. The crescent, yeah. So we ordered La Crescent on 3309.
Yeah.
And then we planted it, thinking we were getting La Crescent on 3309. And then we started growing it. and we all had the St. Pepin on 3309 from the nursery. But, you know, but it turned out okay because I think we got enough lacrescent that it pollinates.
Okay.
And a little bit of a funny story is that our local nursery man here, Alain Bro, actually went down and met with Elmer Swenson.
Okay.
And he told me a story that he was walking with Elmer Swenson when he was in his older years. And Elmer was saying, he's like, because he went down to buy some St. Pepin cuttings. And Elmer was saying, oh, it's over there. So Alain took a bunch of the cuttings. And apparently he took the wrong row of cuttings, and he took some Lacrosse, which is a sister to St. Pepin.
Oh, yeah.
But St. Pepin is actually like, the Lacrosse is self-pollinating.
Uh-huh.
So in Quebec, like we might have some St. Pepin, some Lacrosse. Because then Alain came back and planted it, and like so now, and it looks very similar. So,
Do they? They're similar color.
yeah, everything. So,
Funny.
but it was a nice story with Elmer Swenson, you know. And,
Yeah.
and you know, because these old grape breeders, they're quite characters.
Yeah.
So,
I hope to be one someday. So what's the babies here?
Tosca.
That's a Tasman.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Tosca. And you can see, like, when they're young, we just give a little shot with the spring-tooth harrow.
Okay,
And,
got it.
They're only 2 years old, you know, so...
Okay, so between the vines you don't worry too much, but on the around
they
them...
get some sunlight, you know.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know, like,
okay. Right,
you know,
so it's, just shade competition
yeah,
is what
exactly.
you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So the soil, you don't find too much worry about, like, soil like, we have this thing in California where people do, like, tons of undervine tillage because they think it's competing for the rain, which may be true, because we don't get much rain, but, I mean, it is true to a certain extent. I mean, like, people have it, but, I often wonder how much of that you have to worry about here in terms of competition for water and...
We want the competition.
Yeah, they're pretty vigorous, right?
Yeah, we want the competition because...
What is it? Why do you want it?
We have too much vigor.
Okay, yeah.
So undervine, leaving it grow reduces the amount of vigor that we have.
Right.
So it's easier to control. And like in California, when you guys have too much water, you shut off the tap, right?
Are we going?
Yeah, we'll go see our pigs.
Oh, fantastic.
So here, like we have no way to shut the water off. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
by letting the undervine competition happen, then it simulates like a more realistic environment for the vines.
Yeah.
And competition is good.
Yeah.
You know?
There's two kinds of spots. There's that one, and then there's like the soil health component, right? Like
The more diversity,
having
the better.
more diversity, having more like humic matter and all that, like
Yeah.
microbes and whatnot. It's
Like-
kind of two.
Like the more
we don't actually
different
know what's
species
right and
of
what's
plants,
wrong,
the
but
more
yeah,
different, like the more diversity of microbiology you have,
Yeah.
which just adds to the whole
yeah.
beauty of the soil
Which
ecosystem.
is kind of the direction we're going in.
Yeah.
More than the tillage.
So aside from the not being able to turn off the water, is your soil extra fertile for any reason?
No.
No.
It's,
Okay. Just normal
Well, it's sandy loam.
sandy loam. Okay.
So like.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's great for
For
drainage.
grapes, yeah.
We have, and being sandy loam.
They broke out. Oh, there they are. Look at them come running. Hi, guys. Oh my goodness, don't be too scared. So are these GOSs? What are these guys? What breed are they?
They're mainly red wattle.
Red wattle. I see they're wattle and they are
Grazing pig.
grazing pig.
So we put them in, we pasture them in the woods, and they had some pasture there too.
Yeah.
And we change them. Like last week we changed them from deer.
Uh-huh.
And you can see like what they.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is like 2 weeks in the woods here.
Oh yeah. So do you have to protect anything in the woods from them when you like, is that just a natural wall, or like you just guys have some nice...
There's a natural spring that comes down.
Oh, so that's perfect for them.
It's like perfect. We give them all that woods plus some pasture there, so they eat a lot of grass.
How do they? So, and they're helping probably get rid of some of the brush and like the
I mean, if
the
you want to clean your woods, pigs are.
Like I knew
this before, you couldn't even see through it.
Right. Did they? So what happened? Did they eat the green stuff too, as well as root up the roots?
They eat all the roots. They eat the green stuff.
Wow.
They eat pretty much everything.
What if you put them out here and rotated them more quickly? Would they? Would they graze this stuff?
We can see kind of what they do.
Okay. Hi guys. And what's their growth cycle on these guys? Are they like an 8-month to slaughter kind of breed?
I think it's 8 months.
They're pretty big at 8, right?
We don't feed them a lot of grain.
Can you? How little can you give them?
We give them. There's six of them. We maybe give them like 10 pounds a day.
Okay.
So it's maybe like we give them 1.5 to 2 pounds a day. And the recommended is maybe like 5 pounds.
Okay.
But the reason why is because we wanted them to eat, like, see what they do. This is pasture. This was like last week.
Wow. Yeah. But they've been there for a week, right?
A week.
So if you moved them quicker, you might not get the depths of that. You might get something more like over there.
Yeah.
But they're eating. I mean,
it's just woods that we don't do anything with.
Right.
Anyways, so you might as well have them.
Yeah.
Eat all the roots and.
Yeah, especially like I mean, I'm thinking, like on my land, we have a lot of autumn olive and honeysuckle and rose, like multiflora rose that like it makes the woods, it's kind of they're invasive and they take over, and they might be the perfect solution to that for people who have those kind of issues.
If you do if we would leave them there for like 3 months. I think they would eat all the tree roots, and that's when it's not good for the trees because I think you'll kill the trees.
My guys.
But at that point, they don't.
And these two wide strips these are like horse tape, right?
Yep.
Electrified horse tape.
Pigs are a lot easier to pasture than sheep. Pigs, 2 strands electric wire. They don't.
Wow. Could you supplement them to even reduce their feed further from on-farm stuff, like if you did do dairy or something like that,
for sure.
or chickens or something like
that?
Yeah,
they'd eat anything.
Yeah, that's great. And so they're just on like a grain. That's the supplement. Is it a grain mix?
Yeah, use an organic grain mix.
Nice. How hard is that to get here in Quebec?
Not that hard.
Yeah.
We got a pretty big organic culture in Quebec,
nice.
So there's a lot of the cooperatives carry it right on the shelf.
Nice.
So it's
Look at them. What are they getting?
We're really
looking
interested to see what the taste profile is going to be like.
Oh yeah.
Because we got them a few months ago. First time with pigs.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that breed, the red wattle, their breed was going extinct. But they kind of brought back because of the meat, apparently. And they gain a lot of weight off not a lot. So
are you guys farrowing yet, or is this your first trial kind of thing?
It's first try.
Okay. don't jump into the deep end right away.
I'd
Nice.
like to. I'd like to breed some and see. That's
Nice. No, on this one. Okay. So could you integrate them in with the vines in any way? I'm just envisioning, like...
We thought so. We thought that maybe, but just seeing what they do to the ground.
Yeah, it would be a big risk. You'd have to move them really fast, right?
Yes. Yeah,
and then it would be like, would it be even worth it at that point, right?
No, I think sheep do a much better job in the vines than the pigs do.
Yeah. Have you ever raised goats?
When we first looked into getting sheep, we had one of our friends that had goats,
Uh-huh.
and he said never get goats.
I hear that from more than one goat farmer.
Said get sheep, don't get goats.
That's great. So what are these vines here?
These are young Marquette vines.
Young Marquette.
And we'll walk over to the attached.
So it sounds like Marquette was an early love of yours.
Oh, yeah.
And so you grow a lot of it, it sounds like.
Yeah, we love Marquette. I mean, it makes a fantastic, it's very diverse. You can make a great red wine.
Right.
It makes a fantastic rosé, too.
Yeah. I've been drinking some really good wine since I've been here.
So this is a Tasca.
Okay.
This 3 years ago? 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one does really well for you.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
That could be a little bit of
a bug or?
Yeah, a little bug. You see the moth?
Yeah, sure enough. That's their larva chewing on the leaf.
Yep.
Okay.
It's part of organic farming, right?
Yep.
Anybody says, you know, we lose grapes. You know, we lose clusters. But that's part of. There's no 100% and there's no perfection in organic farming. You know.
Right.
At least in our area. You know.
You need a little tolerance for.
Yeah. It's not going to look pretty. Like at the end of the season, like
you're gonna like stagger across the finish line.
You know.
Yeah.
And we have to, you know, we do like a green harvest, and we pull off anything that's not good, and then when we do harvest, we do a pretty good thinning job. You know, select the clusters that are still good. You know.
Do you have any metrics that you use, like 1 cluster per shoot or 2 clusters per shoot, or does it more just look like vine balance to you, and you're kind of?
Yeah, well, vine balance too. I mean, you know, when. Yeah. So you know, it's just when you look at it when you're pruning, and you know, it's more of a feel thing probably than a written rule.
This is a Tasca, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but this one, you're finding it really does well for you.
Yeah, it makes a beautiful wine too.
It makes a beautiful wine.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it's ready to harvest here. It's one of our first grapes that are ready to harvest. So we're harvesting the first week of September here.
So I'm like I said, I'm a little strange, and I'm interested in, you know, things that other people aren't interested in. But what do you like to tell people who come to visit? You have a tasting room, right?
Yep.
So what are you telling people that are visiting? How do you make the connection for people who aren't into farming or anything like that?
It's an education process.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Because we're close to Montreal, right? Who's big urban area. So we get a whole wide variety of people, and some people will come in and go, you know, they want their California Cap, you know, or they want their Pinot Noir from Burgundy.
Yeah.
So then it's an explanation process of going, well, we're not making that. Like, forget about it.
We're not in Burgundy, and
we're not in California. We're not in California. So, you know, we've been doing it since 2008, and we've got a regular clientele now, and they're come to appreciate what we grow here. And so, but we still get clients coming in wanting, and it's part to blame, I think. Our SAQ, which is the
liquor board.
Liquor board.
Yeah.
They sell wine like that's 2 years old, right?
Right.
From Bordeaux or from California.
That's Anthracnose? Is that it? Yeah.
And they're telling these people that's wine is great, right? Where in California, you guys probably wouldn't drink it for 10 years.
Right, right.
So a lot of Quebecers come and they want these tannins that are just explosive, right?
Okay.
You guys would taste the California Cab like 2 years old. You go, oh no.
Yeah.
Sell her that.
Yeah. Give it another 5, 10.
Yeah. You know, with the tannins will be supple.
Right.
But here we are, you know, wine business, right? The rotation, our SAQ is trying to move wine through that's really not ready to be drunk.
Got it.
And people have the impression that that's what great wine is, you know? So, yeah. So we get those clients too.
Gotcha.
And we have to explain to them, you know, about tannins, about aging wine. So, yeah, but I mean, I think that's why they come to the boutiques too, no matter whether they come in Napa Valley or in Pigeon Hill, is to learn about wine, which is fantastic, you know?
Yeah, that's great. So have you seen some aha moments with anybody? Like, or do you, like, we were talking about these guys their age. It seems like there's less of that, more openness. Are you noticing that?
Big time.
Yeah.
When my wife and I when Manon and I started the winery, we figured that it would be all baby boomers with a certain disposable income. That would be our target market and our client base.
Right.
And we were completely wrong.
Ah.
Most of our market is those guys.
Right.
They're young. They haven't had the same blinders on, and they're open.
Yeah.
To learning about grapes and to learning about farming, and they're eco-responsible.
Okay.
And they're willing to pay a little extra for it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So as the baby boomers are like, $15, man, that's all we want to pay. You know.
Whoa.
So these guys are like, they understand a little more about local farming.
Yeah.
You know, and supporting their local farmers, and it means more to them, I think,
Yeah.
than it does to somebody that's a little bit older.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah.
will go and buy socks at Walmart instead of going to,
Right.
you know,
Right. So the local like sheep farm for wool socks.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like yeah.
I think it's like a general tendency. People are drinking less, but drinking higher quality. Like they like to know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Who they buy it from, you know, instead of just drinking a wine to drink wine.
Yeah. Yep.
On a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think when we do our harvest, it's an aha moment because we have it's a community harvest.
Uh-huh.
So we do 2 or 3 community harvests.
Uh-huh.
And people come from all over, mostly our neighbors, but people come from all over. And that's when they really get to taste and talk to us and learn about the wine. So it's our
that's really great.
Harvest time. So we gotta.
So do you do like a big meal and stuff for everybody? So it's more about like the community aspect.
Oh, totally. Manon does a huge meal, and she's noted. Everybody comes to pick grapes just for the meal. So it's a beautiful meal, and we have 70 people last year coming. So
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's a magical day.
Oh,
you know?
that sounds
the kids tasting the wine, and not the wine, but the juice. You know.
How many acres are planted?
With the new plantation, about 15 acres, I'd say.
15 acres.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you conscientious about picking the row direction, or was it just kind of what fit into the farm?
No, we wanted to go that way.
So how did you pick?
Well, one south, one this way.
North south.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So we get the sun.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's definite.
This is a great bridge. I got to build a bridge at my place too. This is great. Telephone poles, or
yeah. That's
nice.
the old telephone pole. So
nice.
this area here is our wetlands, and we actually get paid by the Quebec government to leave the wetlands alone.
Yeah.
So, which is one of the things I tend to dish on our government a lot, but they do a few good things.
Yeah.
And one of the good things that they are doing is they're paying farmers to leave.
Don't drain it. Don't plow it. Don't
touch
bulldoze it out.
Don't even mow it.
Right.
You know, like a little path through here is okay, but we don't mow it. You know.
Right.
And it stays a wetland, and it's also like harbors a lot of our beneficial insects too.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
in
fantastic.
July it's yellow and purple here.
Oh wow. It's flowers beautiful. Now, what did I miss that you guys were talking about? I heard something about compost teas and what was going on.
Yeah. No, I was explaining
Wait, face this way.
I was explaining how we had garlic in our Tasca block before.
Oh yeah.
The year before.
Oh yeah.
And we.
Right down the middle.
So my dad had this idea that he was.
Or no, like before you planted
before,
yeah. Okay.
He was gonna grow the biggest garlic in Quebec. So anyways, he put.
Like
so much
garlic.
compost, and we put lime, and we really amended the soil, and so you see when you walk into our task. Now it's not so bad because we've done so much work for the last third of it, where it wasn't a garlic field. It was very much like lacking nutrients, and but I was just explaining to him every year we've put compost, fish emulsions, humic acid, compost teas to really try and bring it back. the 2/3 were. Anyway.
That's funny.
And Trisha's been kind of, with her degree in biology and everything, teaching us. We've been kind of elevating our compost tea game, like our different teas. So we're not certified biodynamic, but we do practice some of the stuffs. Like we don't harvest when the moon is right, and we harvest when people are available, kind of thing.
Right. I know the feeling.
Well, you know. And, but there's some things we do enjoy, like we have a lot of stinging nettle, like Matt was saying, like on the farm. So we use stinging nettle tea, and we make aerated compost tea, and then we try to get the bacteria level up with molasses, you know. So, and then try to spray it when the bacteria level's really at its maximum. Microbial growth is at its maximum. We found that that's made a huge difference.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In what way?
I think disease management.
Okay.
You know, like I think when you have a really, like Trisha was saying, the biodiversity in the soil. Can't really explain it. You know, but we've seen like lower disease pressure. Because, when you have a healthy soil, the vine is healthier, and like Trisha was saying, like plants aren't dumb, right? When they're attacked, like
she said they were soulless.
I thought they were soulless.
She said I thought, yeah.
I don't think that anymore.
Yeah, she's changed.
Hey.
So, well, our agronome from France, when we first planted, he was saying, and he's from Bordeaux. And he was saying when one vine gets attacked by an insect at this end of the vineyard, like the other end will know,
Right.
Like they communicate. We kind of looked at it and Lafayette, c'est quoi? Like what are you saying? And then like you start reading and learning about how like the microorganisms, everything works and communicates. You're like, that's what he was saying,
There's so much we don't understand too still, like in the way that they communicate. Sometimes with sound, certain plants, sometimes with like, phytochemicals and releasing, and
Have you read The Secret Life of Trees?
I have, but the book that I would recommend is called The Light Eaters.
Light Eaters?
The Light Eaters. Check it out, because it's more of a journalistic approach where she is going around, she's gone around and interviewed and like sat with, like gone on their research studies with everybody around the planet who's doing like really deep research into plant sentience and plant intelligence.
Cool. Yeah.
And there's some amazing, mind-blowing things happening out there that are just like, you won't be able to see the world the same way after you read this book. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Sold. Sold.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. There's gonna be like rights for all life at some point.
It's they dig a little deeper than like the surface.
And the great thing about her is she comes in as a journalist, so it's very like she's skeptical, but reporting like very like scientifically, not like she's not trying to sell you anything as the person who's doing the study or as somebody who's a believer. But by the end, she's really like, this is like this is what I'm thinking about, having seen all this, and it's pretty exciting.
Like the soil, I come from the other part of agriculture, a little bit, like at one point farmers started to look at the soil like it was a sponge, right? Just to hold up a plant. And now like it's completely gone back. Like if I look at my great grandfather went to McGill University in agriculture, and when I was first starting to farm, I'd take his old soil books, from the 1920s, and they were talking about that in the 1920s.
Right.
But that was before like
the pesticide
industry came in, and they were talking about cover crops, and they were talking about using compost. They were talking about using compost tea like in 1920, in his university course. And you start reading that, and you're like, oh, we're dumb.
Yeah. We
lost so much. They were talking about beneficial insects, in the 1920s. We got to come back to that, in all farming, in all farming.
Yeah.
What's kind of fun with the wine industry is because the margins are there. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the milk industry or the other industrial agriculture, the margins are so tight that they don't have a lot of room to experiment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that the pasture management. When I first started farming, we grazed all the cows. We did rotational grazing, and then you would see like the health of the cows just go, skyrocket. There was so much exercise and fresh air and grass. You know, and then you start, and that's why we love grazing the sheep, you know, and it just makes sense.
Yeah, they're healthier.
They're healthier, you know. No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, on a day like today, it's easy to feel the connection of everything.
Yeah, totally.
I guess there's rainy, cold, miserable middle of winter days where it's like, why am I doing this? Pruning in 40 below. Thanks again for listening. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I want to thank all of you who support this podcast through donations, Patreon subscriptions, sponsorships, or just posting a great review and telling a friend. You make this podcast possible, and I'm honored and humbled and inspired by your support. If you'd like to support this podcast, you'll find links to all the ways you can support it in the show notes.